Hey guys, it's Whitney, and today we are going to be playing around with the Morphe 24G palette. And we did this look right here. I played around more with the Morphe Babes Faves I've set and the stuff that came in it. So we're going to be doing a video every day this week. And if you guys want to see how I got this look, then we're going to do it right now. So starting out, guys, the first color we're going to pick up in the palette is going to be the shade Frenchie right here. I'm going to take that on a Morphe 505 brush, like such. Just going to dip that in there, knock it off, and that's going to be our first transition shade. This does have a pretty good amount of different colors in it, this particular look. That's what I'm going to do. Get my mirror ready. I'm going to put that right here. And I'm just going to work that guy all over the top part. And this is a pretty dark transition shade. But this is the only transition shade that came in the palette. So I'm sorry, y'all. And I already have my base on, which normally I do not recommend. But YouTube videos, I have to do it. So I'm just going to work that out with that 505. And what I like to do is I like to switch over to my Morphe E27. Out of all the Morphe brushes, the Elite ones are definitely my favorite. I'm just going to blend that guy out even more. And I have on my MAC Paint Pot in Soft Ochre today, which is what I'm using as my base. And I do not set my base, but if you do, you can take the shade Creator in the palette, which is the light matte shade, and set your shade. So I'm going to blend, and I wing mine out because I bring mine out pretty far. And really, this is another palette that the only thing you can do is really a warm tone smoky eye. The next two shades I'm going to pick up are going to be this pink right here and the orange. And I'm going to mix those together with a Morphe 573. And I'm going to go doot, 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 doot. You don't necessarily have to do it that many times, but I just like to. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start working that guy directly into underneath my brow bone. And I don't want it to be super pink. I'm pretty much only using the pink to lighten up the orange is what I'm doing with mine. So you just want to blend that out and blend it all through the brow. And try to be careful bringing it really over to the inside right here, you guys, because it'll darken your inner corner, which is what you do not want. We also are going to wing this guy out just like that. And go back and forth between the darker shade and the pink to find the right shade that you want for your eye look. Just today, we're not going to do a super pinky eye look, but more of the orange. So we're just going to keep blending that out, getting it to the correct tone that we want. As soon as I have that blended out underneath my socket, I'm going to pick up a Morphe 433 brush. And I am going to go into the shade Flirty, which is this deep red shade down here on the bottom. I'm going to dip my brush in that, and I'm going to put that guy just a little bit higher than my actual crease. So it's going to go pretty much in the middle of my brow bone and my actual crease. And I'm just going to work that right here. And all it's going to do is deepen everything up. So I just work it. And I am not going to wing this one out at all. I'm just going to put it directly into the crease. And I know that my eye looks weird today. It looks weird where I did this one first. But what I like to do is I like to go in and kind of play with the colors before I commit to an actual color. So that's what I'm doing. I keep looking down to make sure I'm in focus because I feel like I'm going in and out of focus for some reason today. Just going to blend that in. And if you feel like you're losing your pink, the second shades we did, go back in and pick up your brush and just go back into those other colors and just kind of blend them out with those colors. It doesn't really matter. This is one of those looks that you don't really have to be super precise with to make it look good for you. As soon as we have those blended out, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into this brown right here. It is called Mojo and this brown down here called Baked. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in between those two shades like such. And then I'm just going to knock that off, and that is going to go directly in our crease to build up some dimension. It's going to be the brown directly in our crease. We're just going to start packing that on like this. Once I have that those two initial browns set down, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take up this very tiny little detailing pencil brush. It's a Morphe E36. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to dip into the darkest brown down here in the corner. I'm going to dip that brush in there directly on the tip. I'm going to run that directly in the crease to deepen it up even more. So don't be afraid to go deep, because I know that other people have done looks with this palette. I have cat hair everywhere. If you watch my videos, you know I have a crap ton of cats. But everybody else uses the pinks a lot. And I want to do, like, I want to use the pink because obviously it's the main shade of the palette. But I want to do something just a little bit different. Instead of making the pink the focus color of our eyes. So what we're going to, after I put that down, I'm going to go back into my crease blending brush, which is this guy right here. It's a E17 from the Elite collection. And I'm just going to blend that out, you know, so it's not patchy and whatnot, because sometimes Morphe shadows can be. But if you work with them, you can make them work pretty well for yourself. So you just want to work on that, blending that guy out like such, until you get that completely blended. Now that I'm done doing that, I'm going to pick up this tiny packing brush. It's an M124 from Morphe. And I'm going to dip into this light pink shade right here in the palette. This guy. He looks like that. It's a very, very pretty pink. And I'm going to wipe my finger off because I don't want to use my fingers today. I lied. Before I dip into that, I'm going to cut my crease because I cut my other crease. Now, this is something that is an option. You do not have to ever cut your crease if you do not want to. So don't let people ever make you feel like you have to cut your crease, because you absolutely do not have to if you are not comfortable with it. So I'm going to go off camera and cut it real quick. I'm going to do a tutorial about an easy way to cut your crease for beginners. So I'll be right back with mine. Now that I have that crease cut, what I'm going to go at now, I'm going to pick up the pink shade. The shade Glossy is what that shade is called, on that M124 brush, and I'm going to start packing that on the first third of my eye. And it doesn't stick very well, so what I do is I have it on the brush, and I have my MAC Fix Plus, and I use any setting spray. I know most people use MAC Fix Plus, but girl, if you're on a budget, you can use the NYX, you can use the JCat, you can use Milani, use whatever works for you at the time. It does not have to be Fix Plus. Now, I will say that Fix Plus does work better than anything else. I don't know. I know that it's because of the glycerin in it. I do know that. But most facial sprays do have it in there. So, and that's usually what I use, is my NYX primer setting spray for my lashes. It's just I'm trying to finish up this bottle because I just got a brand new bottle and I've had this one for about a year. I think it's time to clear it out of the stash. Now that we have the first third part down, what I'm going to do is I am going to dip into this dark purple shade down here in the bottom. And that guy is called Pitch. And it looks like that. I'm going to wipe that off once again, because like I said, we are not using our fingers today because my nails are pretty long. And I have this on just a cheap little brush, and I'm just going to pack him on like that. Spray him with my Max Fix Plus, and I'm just going to pat that on the rest of the eye. And don't worry about right now at this point if your shade looks sloppy, because we're going to go back in with another darker brown in the crease as soon as we're done packing this on. Now that we're done packing that on, guys, what we're going to do is we're going to dip into this very dark chocolate down here. And that shade is called Brew. And I'm taking that on a Morphe E18. Like I said, the Elite collection is my favorite. And I'm just going to pack it right on the tip. Not even going to bother knocking it off because I want that color. And what we're going to do is we're going to put that directly on the outer corner like this. Because I want this look to be pretty like a chocolatey pink, you know, is what I'm aiming for. So we're just packing that guy on like this. Getting him on there. Now that I have the outer corner done, what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back in that very deep chocolate shade that we used. And I'm taking a Morphe E36 again. I'm going to dip him in there. And it's not going to be a lot, you guys. So I'm definitely going to knock that off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that directly into my crease. And the reason you want to knock it off is because you don't want a lot. You just want to really define the crease. And this is just to add a little bit more dimension to your eye look. Completely optional. You guys can take out any step you want to take out that works for you. If you want to make this way more daytime, just leave the browns out altogether and only do the pinks and the lighter colors. You do not have to do what I am doing just because I am doing it. And then as soon as we're done with that, I'm going to pick up a Morphe M213, just a tiny brush. And we're going to pick up the gold shade right here. And he is called Glazed. And what we're going to do is we're going to pack that on right underneath the lash line, like such. And I'm trying to make mine more of a nighttime look. You guys can do yours however you want to do it. Girl, you do whatever you're feeling. If you want to make it more daytime, use the matte white that you use to set your eye. I'm also then going to go in and I'm going to clean up my inner corner with a little bit of concealer. Now that I have the inner part of my eye done, I'm going to go right back into the shade Glaze and I'm going to pack it directly onto my outer corner. Or my inner corner, I apologize, my inner corner. And I like to bring mine right here on the lower lash line. And make sure you got all your colors blended in together. You don't want any harsh lines. You just want to kind of work on those. And then pretty much what you want to do is before you do your lashes, liner, whatever, you want to make sure you're cleaning up everything. So I'm going to go off camera and do liner and mascara, and I'll jump right back on. I'm going to show you guys that you can wear this look with only mascara too. Lashes are optional, I believe, so I'll be right back. So this is the look with only mascara, and my mascara is kind of clumpy today. I use the YSL, the Shock Mascara. So just so you guys can see, you all can use this look with only mascara or with lashes. Totally up to you. That's completely your choice. I just started wearing lashes within the last, I'd say, 5 or 6 months. So do whatever you want to do. Because this look definitely can only be worn with just mascara. It looks good with lashes, but it looks good with mascara, guys. Now that we're done with the top part, we're going to go back into the first shade that we used. The first brown we used, and I'm taking mine on a very small Morphe fluffy brush. The shade Frenchie. And what we're going to do is we're going to take him and put him directly underneath the lash line. Like such. And just work that all the way underneath. And just keep working it. Just like such. Okay. As soon as we have our first shade on, we're going to pick up the brown shade down here in the corner and this brown shade right here, and we're going to mix them together. And I'm taking mine on a Morphe 507. Love this little brush for my lash line. And we're going to put that one just a little bit farther up above the first brown shade. And just work him down here. Like such. And make sure it's blended out really well. The last thing we're going to do on the lash line is we are going to take the bright pink right here. I'm taking mine on a flat definer brush, a Morphe M432. Just going to dab that in there, and I'm not going to knock it off. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start packing it directly on the lash line. And whenever I was off camera doing my lashes and mascara, I went ahead and put black in my waterline. And what I'm doing is I am taking mine, and I am winging it out up here to where it is directly touching the bottom of whatever I've done up top. I'm just winging it out a little bit farther. And then we're just going to blend it in about 2/3 of the way in. And we're done. So I hope you guys had a good time learning how to do this look right here and playing around with the Morphe 24G palette. all in all, I've probably used this palette this probably makes the 3rd time I've ever used this palette. And I'm just being honest. I mean, it's a beautiful palette. I got it for the pink mostly, but you can do way more looks than just with the pink. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe down below, and I'll see you all tomorrow. Bye.